guys, good morning. Haven't seen you all for quite a while. Thank you, Kitty, for doing pretty much about a week's worth. Kitty and I share the videos, but obviously when I'm doing TV and such like, Kitty obviously fills in for me and does all the videos, so you've had her for a long time, so I've missed you all. I don't think I've seen you for about a week. As and when I can, I pop onto the videos and still have a chat with everyone, so it's been nice to keep in touch. So we're going to be doing some wire wrapping for beginners this morning. Morning Margaret, morning Edward, hi Kitty. So we're going to do some wire wrapping for beginners. A couple of weeks ago I showed you the Everbloom Cabochons, and we were doing some seed bead wrapping around them. Today I'm going to use the round ones because we were using ovals before. Today I'm going to use the round ones, and we're going to use some of our lovely wire. Morning Carrot, hi Carrot? That was Karen and Margaret, sorry. I'm not awake yet. Karen and Margaret. Victoria, Di, Paula. Oh, morning Mum. Hi Marion. Not so nice here in Ireland today. Oh, that's a shame. It's not here in Lincolnshire either. We've had rain all night, but I love hearing it when I'm in bed, so it's all good. Good morning Natalie. Hi Paula. Morning Camille. Lovely to see you all. Okay, so what I'm going to use today, and I'll show you the section on the website. I know Kitty likes to show you on the iPad, so once I've turned you down, I'll show you all the wires that we've got available today. But I am using our Colour Remain wire, which come in the most beautiful colours. If you pop onto the website, and I've put the link in the video, then you will see all of them. So I'm going to use a 0.4 wire, so something a little bit thin, easy for us to start working with, because I'm very conscious we don't really do a lot of wire work, and it's really simple, but I know that a lot of people are put off by it. Hi, good morning Sam, looking forward to this. My wire arrived this morning, thank you, perfect timing. Hi Lucy, nice to see you too. Morning Doris, looking good as usual. Well, teaming here, but good for the guy. Oh, I think you mean raining. Yeah. Thank you, Doris. That's very sweet. I haven't quite woken up yet. I stuck a face on quickly. Morning, Diane. So disappointed Sky didn't let me record your show. Oh, no. Dean was on one. That's all I have to say. We had a really funny show. I think he was on his third consecutive hour, and he'd had coffee, which Dean and caffeine do not go, so we did have a good old giggle. I believe because they have stopped the catch-up, Create and Craft TV have stopped the catch-up section on the website, but if you download the app, I believe there is a way that you can go back and catch the old shows, so hopefully that will help. Morning Julie, morning Gemma, lovely. I've got lots of you on here. Kitty is also watching. She's going to be answering any questions if and when. Natalie says it was very funny, had me in stitches. My cheeks, I came off air and my cheeks were really hurting me. I was just laughing so much. And of course, what a lot of people don't realise is that we wear earpieces so you can hear the gallery. So I was, when the camera came back to me, I was kind of having a laugh with the director while Dean was doing his bit. And then of course they just spring surprises on you. It's a nightmare. Okay, so let's have a look. Lots of you looking forward to wire work. Excellent. Okay, Susan says, morning Sarah and the team. We had rain here in the morning. Happy garden. Yeah, absolutely. I planted loads of plants last week. Some of them looking very sorry for themselves. So I'm hoping a few days of rain will do them well. Okay, so back to what we're really here for, jewellery making. So I'm going to use today the round Everbloom Cabochons, and these are the double-sided ones. They are stuck together, and they've got real flowers inside them. They're so pretty. I'm just going to turn you down so that we can have a little look. And Doris says, Sarah, you were hilarious with Dean. Just keep it up. My husband and I could not stop laughing. I'm so glad it comes across on screen as well, because we have such a laugh in the studios and you never quite know whether people are laughing with you at home as well. So I'm glad you were, and I'm glad you enjoyed it. Okay, so I'm going to turn you down. Let's crack on with our Everbloom Cabochons, and we'll have a little laugh this morning too. Okay, so Everbloom cabochons, like I said, they are our round cabochons that I'm going to use today, not the ovals. And they are completely see-through and double-sided. So you can see they do have a channel down the middle, which traditionally with Kitty's designs, we have had seed beads in them and created lovely little holders for them, if you like, out of seed beads. Mina says, I've not done wire wrapping ever, so looking forward to this tutorial. Well, this is what I thought, Mina. I know we've got lots of newbies to our little channel and joining us every day. We're here every day at 10 o'clock. So I'm trying to mix it up for you a little bit as well. Kitty just sent me a load of wires, sent me these and said, have a little go. Let's see what we can do with some wire wrapping. So this is what I have come up with. Hopefully these lights aren't distracting you too much. I'm afraid, as you can see, they're so shiny, but you can see all the lights in there. Okay, so we're going to wire wrap around the channels. We're also going to have just a couple of little strands which will hold your cabochon in there and a nice little wire wrap bail up at the top so that you could thread it onto a beaded necklace. You could add it straight onto a chain. If you add them onto chains, they are interchangeable as well. Okay, so Di says, got these cabochons but never done wire wrapping. Okay, guys, today is the day. Right, I'm going to move you up a little bit. So I'm going to show you a few techniques with wire. I'm just trying to decide which colour to go for. Let me show you quickly the colours that we have on the website as well, if I angle this upwards. So today, in the Facebook tutorial section on the website, so I have actually linked that in the video, but just go to the website. We've got the 6 Everbloom cabochons. They are 25mm and you get a 6 colour mix. They are down from £15 to £10.99. So I know quite a few of you have them already. But if you don't, that is where you will find them. So the only thing you're going to need to add today is your wire, and it's £2.50 for 7 or 8 metres. There's a couple of different ones. We've got beautiful champagne, there's gold, peach, rose, silver. There's also bronze, black, greens. That's the green that I've got here, copper light green. It's stunning. Peach, rose and silver. So lots of wires there to choose from. Sorry, hitting you all. Morning, Diana. Morning, Kieran. Oh, names just reminded me. Diana, I'm not sure if it's you, but I know it is a Diana. Diana sends us chocolates to the office and lovely little thank you messages. She sent us some bits at Christmas and at Easter and sent us some beautiful chocolates last week just to say thank you. And Diana, I have been sent my share. So I'm not sure if that's the same Diana, but Diana, if you are watching and you know you sent us some goodies, thank you so, so much. We really appreciate it and we're so glad you're enjoying the videos as well. Okay, so what we're going to do, start off with our round cabochon. Let's do, this one has a little bit of green in it, doesn't it? Should we do a green one and then hopefully you'll be able to see on screen, or do we do pinky pinks? Let's do pinks because I've already done a green. Okay, so your wire will come on the spool. They all have the great little cut out sections. So you've got like a little nick there that you can add your wire into. Pink. Natalie says pink. Let's do pink. Okay, so what we're going to do is actually cut off 5 sections exactly the same length, and depending on the cabochon that you are using, you want your wire to be able to come all the way around and also still have some for the bail up at the top. So I think that is probably a really good length for this one. So I'm going to show you because you may have different cabochons that you would like to be using at home as well. Alicia says, I'll be jumping in and out online training on Zoom, but need a little break for a moment. Amazing. What do you teach? Zoom's been fantastic. I know my stepdaughter has been using sort of live classes. Me and the family have been using it for quizzes every couple of weeks. So it's been an amazing way for everyone to keep in touch, hasn't it? Which is great. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and one more. I just need my 5th one. So these are all pretty much the same length. You'll see that I haven't really bothered being completely accurate with it because it's okay. I'm going to hold them together at one end and then I'm just going to run them through my fingers, and this will get rid of any kinks. If you have any nylon coated pliers, you can use that as well. So I'm just holding it, running through and getting them all, look at how beautiful that is, getting them all beautifully lined up and straight. Like so. Try not to get any kinks. So I am holding quite firmly, but not so tight that I kink the wire. Okay, so they are prepped and ready. I'm going to do a little bit of wire wrapping down at the bottom. So I'm going to cut a 1/6 length and this will be used in the middle. So I want to make sure that I've got the very centre. So I'm just going to ever so slightly curve the base because remember our cabochon is circular. So we'll go for about here. So you want in the very middle. So I folded it in half, got my nice round section at the bottom, and we're going to wire wrap these 5 together. So I'm going to take my 6th strand. I'm just going to hold it with a little bit of a tail. And I'm going to take this wire and start wrapping it round. Now, one of the hardest things when you're wire wrapping is getting it super, super tight, because you want to make sure that it's all going to be condensed up beautifully and that you're going to get a nice, neat finish. So I find that holding the tail with my thumb and then I'm pulling this around, and what I do is I'm always pulling it all the way around the wire. Can you see now that that's super tight? Pulling as you wrap around, and then I come in and it's right next to the previous. So not only am I curving it around the wire, but my fingers are also pulling it really nice and tightly. Can you see I've got a slight gap in between them, and you can just squish them together like so. Okay, so you get a really nice, neat wrap. Hi, good morning, Sheila. Watching this with keen interest as I just can't work with wire. Oh, hopefully today we will change that for you. Kitty has put up the link to our beautiful wires. Good morning, Jittle. Oh, yay, I've ordered some of the wrapping pendants from Totally Beads. Can't wait for my delivery. So excited. Oh, Jittle, amazing. You are going to be completely addicted to jewellery making. I see you've been making your button men with your son already. So this is going to be a fantastic next step for your jewelry making. So can you see, because I'm pulling it nice and tightly but not too tight that I'm kinking any of the wire, you're getting that beautiful even wrap down at the bottom. And don't worry about this one because that's our tail. And then as I'm going along, can you see that these are all sitting nice and neatly together? So if I squash those with my flat nose pliers, you can see that I've got all 5 strands. Up at the top here, they're just getting a little bit twisted. So my one over from the far left has just twisted over to the right. And I want to make sure that they're going to be nice and flat. So you can just use your flat nose pliers, and I am ever so slightly pinching this. I'm not squashing it like you would a crimp bead. I am just using it as a flat area. Okay, so then you can see this is what will sit in the channel of our cabochon. This is where we are wrapping down at the bottom. Okay, so I'm going to keep on going. Just a little bit more. And what this will actually do is give me a frame down at the bottom of the cabochon, so it will sit in that channel, which will hold it all in place, and it just gives you that really nice little bit of contrast against the wrapping that we will do up at the top as well. Just makes it look a little bit more handmade and gives you that really nice finish. So squashing them together, and you can see if you have things like a coiling gizmo, you could even use something like that as well. It gives you the same look. So you'll see I'm doing it quickly. I'm not being overly accurate. You just want to make sure that you've got that really nice bit of tension so that it's as neat as you can possibly get it. And the great thing with using the 0.4 wire is that it's strong enough to hold, but soft enough that if you aren't used to working with wire, it's still going to give you that manageability and give you a nice, neat finish whilst we get used to it. Now, the wire wrapping today is for beginners. On Sunday, I'm going to show you how to make a ring. So today is like a little introduction to wire. We're doing the pendant. And then on Sunday, I'm going to show you how to make a ring. So with my first tail, you'll see that I've cut that nice and neatly. And then I'm just going to use my flat nose pliers just to pinch in. Kieran's asking what toolkit this is. I'm just using leftovers. These are just from my little stash. My good ones are actually in the car from the show yesterday. So I was just being really lazy and took something out. But I do have my own toolkit. I believe they are going to be back in stock on the Totally Beads website super soon. The supplier has sent them out to them. So if you are waiting for those to come back in stock, they will be back in stock with Totally Beads very soon. Okay, so I've now trimmed that down and you'll see I just took my flat nose pliers and you're just pincing all the way around. So I'm not squishing it hard. I'm just pincing it together to hide those sharp edges. And then what I'm going to do, just for a little bit of extra detail, I'm actually going to squash this. So now I am going to push hard and I'm using my flat nose pliers. Can you see that I'm just flattening it like this? This will actually sit it really beautifully in the channel, but it's actually going to make it super strong. Now, I can't now squish that together. I've got a little gap in there, but it doesn't matter. But what that will also do is strengthen the wire. So we've got a core of 5 strands. Then I've got the coil on the outside, and that now won't move at all. So I'm going to mould this around my cabochon, and as you can see, we've got 5 strands because it sits beautifully in the channel. That's the right size. Now I'm just going to bring it around the channel all the way up to the top and pinch it together. And can you see it just gives you a nice little bit of detail down at the bottom of the root. And we'll squash that in. And the 5 wires sit beautifully on either side. Hoping my toolkit arrives today. Amazing. So lots of you have been buying them. Lovely. Thank you so much. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to separate my very top strands on the front side. And I'm going to turn it around and I'm going to separate my top strand, which is that one. And that one. So I've got 4 coming in. And the reason I'm doing this is because I want it to hold my cabochon in place. Because it's round, and once we've done the wire wrapping, you may find that the cabochon can slide out. So I'm adding 2 wires around the front. Can you see that that's going to hook in nicely there? And 2 wires around the back. Let's turn this around. Pull this one out. Lovely. And what that will do, I've got 2 at the front, 2 at the back, and they are going to hold everything in once we start to wrap up at the top. Now, you can make these as tight as you would like. So you can either have it so it's cutting across the actual tree, and you can see that inside this pink flower, that's actually a flower, and then you've got some beautiful detail of the tree. You can either have it coming straight across or you can stretch those out. I'm just pushing them so that it opens up and it's not so intrusive in the design in the cabochon. So you can either have it coming straight across or you can mould them out like this. Okay, so it's just going to give you a nice little grip on the cabochon, keeping it in place, but it's also going to give you that little detail. So it's decorative detail as well as functional. Excuse me one sec, I'm just going to have a sip of drink before my throat gives way on me. Okay, so now we're ready to actually wrap the top. And to wrap the top, we're going to do exactly, will the wire be the same today for the rings on Sunday, Mina? Yes, they will. So if you get hold of your wires today, I'll also show you how to make rings with them on Sunday. And we've got an amazing bead bundle to go with the rings on Sunday as well. So yes, if you get hold of your wires, I'll be showing you multiple makes with them so that we can get a few more techniques under our belt. Okay, so I've just pinched that top bit together with my flat nose pliers. You can also give it a twist if you would like. So if you find that you struggle with wire getting it to do what you want it to, just give that a little twist and that will hold it in place, which is going to give you a little bit more stability when we're now wrapping the top for our bail. So just like we did at the beginning, I'm just going to straighten this out with my fingers. You'll see I've got a twist holding it in place. If you don't want to twist it, you could just wrap it. It's entirely up to you. And now we're going to create our wrapped bail up at the top. This wire here is just a little bit looser. So I'm just going to hold that and give it one more twist. Like so. Now you could either keep these wires as they are, and once you use your flat nose pliers, now if you're not great with pressure on your pliers, or if you have pliers that have ridges on them, wrap some sellotape around them and that will prevent them from denting and marking the wire. Okay, because what you don't want to do is dent this or mark it, because it's then going to give you, it's obviously going to expose the wire. Now these are non-tarnished, they are colour remain, so they are a beautiful quality, but what you want to do is limit any damage or markings on them. Now what you can do is actually just have your bail like this. So you could have it as your 10 individual strands of wire, because remember we've got 2 lots of R5, and you could wrap it around and just skip forward a few steps because I'll show you how to secure it down at the base here. So if you wanted to have more of an exposed bail up at the top, you could do that. I'm going to wrap this together so that it matches the base and we've just got that lovely fine little detail. So I'm going to use my extra little piece here. Lynn says, I've just ordered some wire and the cabochons. Not very good at wire work, but I'm going to give it a go as these are so pretty. Thank you, Lynn. That's exactly why I've done it, just to encourage you guys to try it, because it is super simple and it's a great technique to learn, because then any beads you have that don't have holes in them, you can actually now make these pendants from, because no holes. You'll just see, hopefully you'll learn from the techniques how we can get this going. Now don't forget as well, if you share this video, this will be kept on the home page of your own Facebook page. All of our videos are on our Facebook page forever. So we've got about 11 weeks worth on there at the moment. But if you want to share it with your friends, or you want to sort of bookmark it on your own page as well, because you've got your materials coming, then give us a little share, and that will obviously go on to your own individual page as well as everybody else being able to see the video for today. We do this every day at 10 o'clock. And our followers for each of the videos is phenomenal. We've got so many people who have joined us. So we're trying to do advanced techniques, nice easy beginners techniques, hopefully bringing you something new and different as well, because we know there are so many of you who haven't seen us before, which is fabulous. So thank you all for your support as well. It's been amazing. My mum's just said this would look great on me, honey. My mum uses these videos like a little personal shopping trip, which is brilliant. I love it. Yes, Mum, you can have this one. It would look beautiful on you. I'll make sure next time I manage to see you, you can have this one. Okay, so just like we did at the very beginning, I have moved these down so that it's as near to the base as I can get it. Now I'm leaving a few millimeters at the bottom because this is going to be where we'll secure the top of our wire. So we're going to come down and wrap that afterwards. So I'm just going to use this wire, my new strand, to wrap around all 5. And you can see now that I've got the pendant on here, I don't actually have to hold it very tightly like we did at the beginning. I'm just rotating the pendant, but you'll see that there's no gap in between any of the wires. So I kind of pull the wire down and rotate. So I'm guiding it around with my index finger and my thumb. But can you see, because my angle is facing downwards, excuse me, because my angle is facing downwards, it's going to keep on. So it's not quite overlapping. It just pops into place next to the coil from before it. And you can really pick up a good speed. If you find at any point that you do get some gaps, just stop, pinch it together, because remember, once we flatten this and strengthen it, we won't be able to do that. Margaret says, could we have the link again, Kitty, please? I missed it. I made mine into key rings and they're fabulous. That sounds lovely. Sorry, Sarah, you may have already said, but what wire are you using? So today, Gemma, I'm using the 0.4 wire. This is our Colour Remain, so it's a little bit posh. And this is from the website. We've got some beautiful colours. They are £2.50 for 7 or 8 metres. Some of them come in slightly smaller because some of the colours are a little bit more expensive, and they're non-tarnish as well. I've got some gorgeous colours on there. And I am using the 6-pack of Cabochons. They are down from £15 to £10.99. And Kitty has just put up the link as well. Okay, so yes, let's finish this one off. I'm just going to keep on wrapping. Now you can make this as long or as short as you would like. So if you have maybe a favourite chain that you wear all of the time, or you have done something like your herringbone chain, then of course they're really time consuming. Making your own beaded chain is not a quick job. So having lovely pendants like this, you can now take your favourite chain and you can use things like this to become interchangeable. So the length that we have up here is going to affect the size of the bail or the size of the loop that we have down here. So if you've got a big thick chunky chain, or it's something a little bit larger, just make sure that you create a longer stem for your bail. Okay, so I'm going to straighten out these wires that we have up at the top. I'm going to use my flush cutters. Now, with your flush cutters, you will see there is a side that has your blade directly next to it. Over here, you've got more of an angled side. So flush cutters, you always want to make sure you have your blade side nearest to your work, okay? And that way, look at how tight and precise that cuts it. Okay, I'm just going to squish this in. So again, ever so slightly with my flat nose pliers, just pincing. So I'm just doing that little movement all the way around the wire. I'm also going to cut off this tail, and you'll see there's a couple of coils that aren't quite as neat as possible. So I'm just going to undo 2 or 3 of those. Again, flush cutters as near to it as I can. Little pincy movement, rotating it around, and that will get rid of any sharp edges, okay? And then I'm actually going to squash these as well, just like we did down at the bottom, and this is really going to give me strength in my bail. So flat nose pliers, not too tight that I'm marking the wire, but tight enough that I'm getting that beautiful flush finish. And look at that, I just think it looks so pretty, especially when you have your coils really nice and neat together. And that's super, super strong now. In fact, sometimes I even struggle to bend it as much as we need. So because I want to wrap this just like when we wrap a loop, I want to make sure, and Dorothy says, you're so right, the herringbone chain takes a good few hours, but it's so worth it. I really love them. I made them to match the Papuka Amos pendants, and they're fabulous. Yeah, Dorothy, it's so worth doing. It's super satisfying, and you have the most beautiful handmade chain at the end of it. So something like this, of course, is going to allow you to make the most out of those chains and have interchangeable pendants as well. Natalie said she thinks my voice is suffering from yesterday. Yeah, I've had a really hay fevery week, actually. I've had stinking migraines. My throat's a bit tickly, but hey ho, it's all good. Just means I drink more coffee, really. Okay, so I've bent my pendant backwards because just like turning a loop, I want this loop to be on top of my cabochon, and I'm just bending my bail around. So I'm going to use my flat nose pliers just to get a little bit more of a round finish. Okay, you can see you've got a nice curve on there. So where you don't perhaps have the strength in your hands, always use your pliers as an extension to that, okay? It's going to give you more strength and more precision. So I'm going to split these wires, left and right. 2 of them are just a little bit caught up. There we go. So make sure that you're doing it and you've got really nice, neat split up at the top here. Okay, and I'm going to bring this right in down to the base, like so. So I want my 2 wrapped sections to be level, and then if this isn't perfectly round, don't worry, we can fix that in a minute once we've actually secured it into place. And then we're going to take these left and right and we will wrap around. Do you remember those few mil that we used at the bottom? Dorothy says, oh sorry, migraines are terrible. Do you know, I went to bed last night with a flannel, a face flannel, wrapped with a cool pack and held on my head with an eye mask. I feel a million times better today. I've always suffered with them. If any of you know any really good tips to get rid of migraines, I would be pleased to hear them. I've had clothes pegs on these part of my hands. They work really well. Ice packs, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, if anyone suffers as well and has magic tricks, then let me know. But they're also mine. Get a clothes peg and put it on there. And that actually gives you instant relief. There are little things that you can buy to go on there. And I'm yet to invest in one, but I just use the clothes pegs. And then an ice pack on my head is always good too. Okay, anyway, I digress again, sorry. So I am straightening these out, ready to start wrapping them around. Oh, Sean says, I've just had your plier set delivered. Yay! Amazing, really hope you enjoy them. Mina's also been doing the crochet necklace from the other day, my lovely little tiger eye one, which is good. That was a really beautiful one to make. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is cross over these and pull them nice and tightly, which will fill in that little gap that we left at the very beginning. And again, use your pliers for any strength that you don't perhaps have in your hand. And you'll see I'm keeping it nice and tight, wrapping it all the way round, pulling it tightly and around to the back. Now, if it leaves you any gap here, like this bit isn't great, I actually want to cover that with the wire itself. I'm going to come around once more and I will take it just that little bit higher so that it covers that gap. And you'll see now it should give you a bit of a seamless graduation through from the base of the cabochon up to where we started wire wrapping. Now, what some of you may have seen, I'm just going to use my flat nose pliers to squish this in, which will hopefully give me a nice neat finish. And if you find that some of your wires are a little bit unruly and they're kind of hopping out of place, just individually take them and guide them around so that you can hide some of those gaps and you'll get a nice neat finish, something that you're happy with. Once they're in place as to where you want them to be, just take your pliers and I'm going to squash that down. So can you see it's kind of given me a faux graduation? It looks like it's all wire wrapped together, but actually we've just used these to hide it and cover the base, which will also give me great strength down at the bottom of my cabochon. This is where all of the weight of your necklace and your stress point is going to be, which is why we make it nice and strong. And then I'm just going to use my flat nose pliers, give us a nice little curve on there, and we can finish it off. Now, what you may have seen in a lot of pendants is that you then use these tails to create decorative little swirls and to give you, you know, a bit more of a, Dorothy says she'll try the clothes peg. Yeah, do. Just pop it in there and in there, and it gives you instant relief. Gemma said, just placed my order. I was so excited I forgot to order seed beads. Whoopsie. If you add on another order, and just let Kitty and Simon know, a lot of the time they will just refund your second postage if you forget anything. Just send them a little message and they'll combine both of those together for you. Kitty, would you be able to put up the link to the page, please? Lots of people asking. Thank you so much. Patricia says, lovely to see you. These pendants are lovely. Thank you so much. Yeah, I've really enjoyed designing them. So what you can do is you can use these little sections to create a little bit more of a decorative finish if you so wish. So you can take something like this. Now the problem being, because it is only a 0.5mm wire, it is very thin, but you can create little swirls with them. I'll show you how to do it. So mine are a little bit more simple. I've just gone with the main focus being on the tree. When you use things like your smaller pendants, or they don't have a decorative finish like this, a lot of the time, like a semi-precious cabochon, for example, or some of the hematite teardrops, you can actually use these as nice little decorative features. But normally we would use a thicker wire. So what I'll do is I'll show you how to create the little swirl, and then if you want to add them in, you can. I'll do it with one wire first, but you could always use multiple wires wrapped together. This is where you guys can start having fun with your own designs. I've shown you the main bones of the technique and hopefully some top tips. And now you can actually start bespoking it and having your own fun with it too. Remember, you get 6 cabochons in a pack. So one to learn with, one to practice with, one to perfect, one to freeform, and one to go completely wild with. So you can have fun with them. Okay, so I've used my round nose pliers. I've put in really nice and tightly that little loop. You just saw me do it. Now I'm going to use my flat nose pliers, and I'm going to start creating this little curve, a little coil and spiral. So I'm just holding it again, ever so tight, ever so gently, so that it's not too tight that it's going to mark my wire. But you can see you start to get these little decorative swirls. Now, the problem with this pendant, of course, is that the tree is the main focus. But you could use something like this to then decorate the outside. So it could come down the actual ridge down the side, or you can then use this just to decorate the top of your bales, like so. And you will see on a lot of wire wrapping projects, and if you have any pendants yourself, I'm just going to neaten that up so it comes nice and down. I didn't want to detract away too much from the tree, but that is how you can do that really beautifully. And you could do this with each of these. If I do another one, this one will be slightly bigger because the wire here is longer, but we could start to take it up the actual bale itself. So very tip of your round nose pliers to give you the smallest, tiniest little start of a loop, okay? And once that has wrapped, you can see I'm doing it so far at the edge, I keep letting go of it. Once that has turned into a tiny little loop, you'll just take your flat nose pliers, hold it tightly, and you're just giving a little flick of the wrist, okay? Tiny little flick of the wrist will start to coil that around, and once you see it visibly coming around, you'll let go. And then hold it again, bring it in, and you'll just do this all the way until you meet your bale. Can see it gives you such a beautiful finish. So if you want something that's a little bit more detailed, and of course this really just highlights that they are handmade as well, it's just going to give you that more detail, that little bit more finesse. And then let's bring it in a little bit more. I'm then going to take my flat nose pliers and I'm just going to move it all the way around so that it sits near to my first coil. And then you could just have a little play. Let's do one more and we'll do one here so that, let's go for this one. He's stuck underneath there, so I'll bring that up. Again, straighten it out. Ian says, hi Sarah, what about stones with no channel around the edge? How about a session wire wrapping those? Yeah, so Ian, what I would do is create your own channel. So just like the base here, you would wrap, say these didn't have a channel at all, I would probably wrap at least 1/3 or even half, if not all, and then what that will do is actually hold and make a channel all the way around the outside. And then with these wires, just always make sure you give yourself a little casing. So I wouldn't particularly need these because this does have a channel, so it could hold it into place. But because I wanted it to be super secure and because it's double-sided, I know this is going to flip around a lot. Just always make sure that you have something like this on the outside. Now, this is obviously quite rounded. If you had a stone that was a little bit square or even irregular in shape, it could be a slice of agate, something like that, you can actually give these a little bit more detail. So if you take your round or your flat nose pliers, you can actually give them like little kinks to create a different shape. It's a little bit harder to see with this colour, but I've now made that more sort of hexagonal, if you like. So you can then use these to just give yourself decorative features. You can make little twists and turns on them to neaten them up and straighten them up, and that will then give you perfect channels for any shape of bead. Sarah, are these fine pliers in the set, or can you tell me the make? So my round nose pliers, let me see if I've... Oh, hang on a minute. Here's some. In my plier set, you do get really fine tip, and I'll use it for this one, really fine tip round nose pliers. You just, oh, excuse the dogs. Got everyone home again this week, which means noisy, unprofessional videos. I have told the husband, though, anyone who was watching my last video, he burnt the toast right at the end of the video. So I've told him, maybe just wait until I'm finished today for breakfast. So the fine nose pliers, you just want the very, very tip of your round nose pliers. It doesn't matter what size they are, but you can see that mine will give you a really nice finish. I haven't actually realised I had an extra set here, so I'll use my ones. I use ear seeds for migraines. Natasha, I have never heard of them. If you wouldn't mind sending me a message, I would be super grateful. I'm guessing I could probably just Google it, could I? Never heard of them, but I'm always willing to try something new. Paula says, morning doggies. Yes, we've got Django and Earl here this morning. Django is back from work, so it's all a manic household again. Okay, so I'm just going to rotate this one around, giving us that lovely little curve. Everyone's saying good morning to the dogs. Earl has had a pretty drastic haircut. The dog groomer's opened up again, took him in. He had a few mats in his tail. So she's pretty much skinned about 3/4 of his tail. And then he has like this little pom-pom on the end. I mean, he looks pretty ridiculous, but needs must. So you keep on saying he looks like a toilet brush at the moment. If he comes in some of the videos over the weekend, I'm here on Sunday doing some rings with you, so I'll show you then. Okay, so there you go. Can you see that you can get a really nice decorative finish? If you don't want to do a decorative finish and you would like to finish it just as I have on the other side, then we're just going to cut these neatly and pinch them in. So we'll take our flush cutters. And what you want to make sure is that you don't have them on the edges, because if you're going to wear these against your skin, obviously you want it to be really nice and secure. Django is well and truly making his voice heard this morning. Sorry, guys. I'm going to cut these down so that I can then take my flat nose pliers, and I'm just going to, let's move that decorative coil out of the way for a sec. And then I'm just going to pinch it in. Again, just those tiny little pincher movements just to secure all of those sharper edges. So it's just tiny little pincher movements, and I'm rotating it around all the way. Okay, so it's not a one big squish. It's just pinching those in. And these ones came round from the far side. So I'm going to do this in the opposite direction. So again, nice and flush. I wouldn't have done these coils beforehand because they are now in the way, but I'll use those just to squish those in, and nice little pincers to finish that off. Now, like I said, it is a soft wire. We are only using a 0.4 mil. So it is, it's going to hold its shape. We've done as much as we can to reinforce it, but I would probably look at doing little swirls like this with something a little bit more sturdy. But for now, and I mean, you've got them at the top of the tree, so almost looks like extra blossom in the tree, doesn't it? Oh, lovely. Natasha says she sent me a message. Thank you so much. Dorothy says your explanation, Sarah, is so clear. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, I just want to break down some of these new techniques for you. Like I said, we've done these every day at 10 o'clock for the last 11 weeks. So if there are new techniques that you haven't yet seen, all of those videos will be saved. Obviously, if there are certain ones that you want to kind of bookmark for yourself, just hit the share button. That will then bring it straight onto your Facebook page. I will show you on the iPad. I'll show you the category in a minute. So that has shown you, hopefully, a few different takes on wire wrapping for beginners. It's super, super simple. Nothing here I've shown you is out of anybody's league. Like I said, this is going to be a little introduction to your wire work. Have a look at the wires today, and on Sunday, I'm going to show you how to make some crystal wire wrapped rings. So another little technique to start using your wire with. And remember, with these wires down at the bottom, you can then move out of the way a little bit as well, like so. So you've got more decorative, you've got nice and simple. These cabochons, they are the Everbloom cabochons, so they are double-sided, which I think is really lovely. I mean, so really it's not a cabochon, is it? Because they're flat on one side. But your pendants, of course, are going to be beautiful to wear if you've got those special chains. And as you can see, they've got the real flowers in them as well. So real dried flowers in the centre. And then you've got that beautiful tree and butterfly detail in there too. Oh, Natasha says she's getting a bit stressed over doing the rows. Send me another message. And I will try and help you as much as I can. Okay, so they are your Everbloom pendants and hopefully a good bit of wire wrapping that you can start with. So on the website, now we've got the link on, Catherine says it is on one of the USBs. No, it's not. Kitty just sent me these a few days ago and asked if I could do something different with them other than seed beads. So I'm afraid it's just one off the top of my head. But obviously you can use this video and bookmark that forever, and you'll be able to use it as your little make along video. So if you pop onto the website, and we've got the link on the video here, I've also got it in the description of the video. Joe says, could you do a tutorial on how to make an adjustable ring? Yes, I can, but if you go back and have a look at my Tiger Eye crochet video, I actually made stretch elastic rings. So I used the Tiger Eye and these semi-precious spacer beads to make just stretch elastic rings. Really, really simple. That would go perfectly. I know I've done my adjustable memory wire bangles. We had those on telly this week, but these are super simple to do. So if you go on to the crocheting video with Tiger Eye beads, just towards the end of the video, I make a stretch elastic ring. Hopefully that will help. The other video that I have, but although they're not adjustable, is how to make the crystal rings. And these are interchangeable because you can actually rotate your bead that you have in the middle when your finger isn't in the way. And these are our crystal coin beads. That's another really nice way of making a handmade ring. Obviously, as you can tell, I didn't make it for this finger. So they aren't adjustable, but you can make it for whatever size you need. So hopefully they will help. Okay, so onto the website. Just at the top, you've got the category section. Click on that. These are all of the bead categories. There's lots of them, but there is one, where's it gone? Facebook tutorials. Click on there and we have, oh gosh, I don't even know how many there are. We've got March tutorials, April tutorials, May, and then the ones that we have been doing now in June. So as you can see, we've got this super bank of education that you can start using. Today, was the Everbloom round cabochons. We've got the set of 6 of them, so that's all the colours I was using. They're 25mm, so really good size. And as you can see, they've got the real flowers in there. There's purple, white, turquoise, navy blue, green, and it's almost like a fuchsia pink, pinky purple. They are really beautiful. They are normally £15 down to £10.99. That is your little biddy bargain for today. And then all of the wires. Now remember, I'm going to be using these wires on Sunday as well. Let me turn my brightness up. You can see I had a headache yesterday. We've got the champagne, gold, rose gold, peach, silver, black, bronze, champagne, copper, green. So there's lots of different colours, so you can start bespoking your pendants and matching those up. £2.50. It's an absolutely amazing price. 8 meters on those spools, so I probably used maybe just over 1 meter, I would say, for the 7 pieces of wire that we used today. Margaret says she made the coin ring. It's great. Thank you so much. Guys, I've been doing a little montage and little compilation of everybody's makes that we've been doing in lockdown. I have over 150 pictures to add in to this little montage. So as you can tell, it's taken me quite a while to do. But we have the handmade section on the website. So this is a Facebook group. Now you are on the page. This is where we have all of our main posts and our education videos. Can you get the Everbloom cabochons in the USA? Yeah, we do worldwide shipping. Have a look on the website. If you've got any questions about shipping, just get in touch with Simon or Kitty and send a little message on the Facebook page or an email. What's it saying? Yes, so this is the main page. This is where all your videos are. If you go on to the Facebook groups. So if you go on to events, you will see all of our daily videos and the techniques that we're going to be covering. Tomorrow, Kitty did tell me what she's going to be doing. Tomorrow, Kitty is using square rivolis. And on Sunday, I'm going to be making wire-wrapped crystal rings. Monday, not sure yet. We will add those into the events over the weekend. If you go into groups, you will see that we have lots of different groups where people can share things they're making with seed beads, with crystals, with pearls. But in there is a page called Totally Handmade by Totally Beads. And everybody is sharing their pictures of all of their makes, their kits, the inspiration, everything that we have had in these videos. And when you tag me in them or you send them to me, I'm making this beautiful montage of all of the tutorials that we've had since lockdown. I just thought it would be a really nice memory for us all to have and to see how busy we've all been. Doris says, when will the next USB 4 coming out? I know it was held up. Yes, it was held up. Kitty has a house of 7 people during lockdown, children of which are being homeschooled. The warehouse are operating on split shifts. Lockdown has put a hold on all of it. Actually, not only did we have a delay in the USBs because they were held up because they weren't deemed essential. So there was a hold on that, and of course now Kitty has had to commit her time to the staff, to the family, to the kids. The USB 4 will be coming. It will be well worth the wait. I think 4 and 5 might be in quite quick concession towards the end of the year, I would say. Mid to end. Fingers crossed, providing we can get Kitty some developing time again. And of course, these Facebook Lives are something that we have never done before. These started in March when we started lockdown. Originally, we just wanted to give you something to make along with us, maybe once or twice during the week. They have grown phenomenally well. They have been incredibly popular, and thank you all so much for your interaction, your shares, your orders, your following. It really has been fantastic, and it has kept Kitty and I super busy during really difficult times, which has been lovely to do. And it's been great to get to know you all, because we see some of these names pop up every now and again, and now we're seeing you every day. So it's been amazing. Thank you all for your amazing support. So I'm going to shush now because you've had me for long enough. I don't want to bore you all. Alison is in Cape Town. You see, we are international, which is really lovely. So I've got people watching from America. I know Maria from Malta is on here all the time. We've got Alison in Cape Town. Thank you all so much. Doris says there's over 500 people. You'll give me anxiety. At least when I do telly, I have no idea how many people are watching. As far as I'm concerned, it's just me, the presenter, and one cameraman, and maybe 2 people in the gallery. I'm fine with that. I really hope you've enjoyed it so far. Lucy says she's been here since day one and never beaded before. I've loved this lockdown time. Lucy, you must have made tens of projects so far, because Lucy started with us during these lives, bought a USB, has been doing those, and hopefully we've helped you along the way, Lucy, as well, which is really lovely. Okay, so Kitty will be with you tomorrow morning. She will be doing the square rivolis, which will be fabulous. I'm going to be back on Sunday. I'm going to be using the same wire from today. So I'm going to give you another little technique to hopefully break down some of that fear factor with wire. We're going to up those skill levels. We're going to make some matching rings as well. You know I love a ring. That will be Sunday's video. And then I'm going to be with you quite a lot next week as well. No TV shows for me. Which is really nice, and I will be here doing a lot of the videos because Kitty's covered me for the good last week or so. Amazing, thank you all so much. It was lovely seeing you again. I've missed you all this week. Oh, Debbie's got a birthday. Happy birthday, Debbie. Hopefully you can make some nice wire wrap pendants as a little gift to yourself. Okay, take care. Love you all lots. Thank you so much for joining. I will see you on Sunday. Don't forget to like and share the video. It will keep it on your Facebook page. We will reach out. Oh, she's 60. Happy 60th, Debbie. Were we meant to share that? Lovely. Have a great day, Debbie. Thank you so much for joining us on here as well on your special day. I will see you all on Sunday. So have a great day. Stay safe, everybody. Join Kitty tomorrow at 10 o'clock. Pop onto the Facebook group and you'll be able to get some more inspiration on there as well. Love to you all and I'll see you Sunday. Take care.